Hello everyone. Yes, you've been seeing me in this velour tracksuit for a few times now. It's kind of boxy, not the most attractive thing, but you know what? I do clean it. It is washed, it is cleaned, but it's very comfortable and I'm wearing it. Not that I really had to make an excuse for why I'm wearing it or anything like that. It's funny how we do those things. Anyway, or at least that I do those things. I want to talk a little bit about what we have to do, what we do when there's nothing left to do, when there's no control of the situation, right? That's pretty much what I'm describing. You're in a situation where you don't have any say or any influence on it whatsoever, but it is affecting your life. I'm a little sick. Sorry, everyone. But it's affecting your life. You know, and I caught myself several times saying to myself, like, I just can't take this anymore. I can't take this anymore. That's not a useful thing to say to oneself. Sorry. I'm gonna get a cough drop. Give me a second. I'll leave the tissues over while I'm at it. Okay, so. Sorry, this is gross, but. When have I been afraid to blow my nose whilst videoing? Never, I say to you. Okay, so, what do we do when we're in a situation like that? I think the first thing that I work on is self-talk, right? Like saying stuff like, I can't take this anymore, isn't useful because you're just telling yourself that you can't take it anymore and you're just heightening that feeling, right? So if you find yourself saying that, my advice would be to stop saying that. You know, I mean, I have a friend who sometimes says, oh, this is too much, it's too much. And I say, you know what? It's not too much. It's a lot, but it's not too much. If you keep saying it's too much, you're not going to be able to deal with it. You know what I mean? I keep saying I can't handle it, I'm not going to be able to handle it. Whereas if I just say, I can't handle it, I can handle it. And if I choose to approach with compassion, even though there's part of me that's like, oh my God, I'm going to kill somebody. It helps. But it's, you know, sometimes I have to be honest with you. I like my coffee. My coffee's going to taste weird if I have a cough drop. Gross. I do have to say something. Being compassionate can be tiring. It's tiring. Some people are like, oh, you're such a nice person, blah, 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 blah. You're so compassionate, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, that's not just something that happens. I mean, certainly there's proclivities and, I mean, certainly I'm a nice person at my core. But, you know, like, that doesn't stop you from feeling the things that everybody feels. And it doesn't stop you from being annoyed or upset. I mean, sometimes, you know, I mean, like, for instance, I remember I was at a doctor's checking out, and I was just waiting there, and the woman had a lot to do behind the desk, and she was like floating around. She's like, I'll be right there, I'm so sorry. And she was like, take your time. And, you know, it took her a while to get over to me, which is fine. I was perfectly fine, just kind of looking around the office, amusing myself, just, you know, whatever, being patient. And she comes over and she's like, thank you so much for not being angry. And I'm like, yeah, it takes a little more than this to get me angry. She's like, I could tell. Well, it's just because, like, there are things that are just not worth getting angry about, right? Like, having to wait a little bit longer at the doctor's office is not worth getting angry about, right? And that's because we have no control over it. We don't have any control over anything. Let's remember these. I'm just reminding myself here that this is just like that. Just gonna be patient, because there's no sense in getting angry about things like this. There's no sense in getting angry. And as like a nice person, certainly I'm slower to anger than some people. I'm quicker to sadness than some people. I think that, but I think people don't realize that nice people also get like annoyed sometimes too. We just don't, it's not that we don't show it, it's just we just don't often act from that place. We, because we're all feeling more than one thing at a time, right? Like, because I can feel really like super annoyed and like I want to just throttle someone, and I can be compassionate at the same time. I don't know about you guys, I can. Both feelings are present, and you just choose. You choose like, okay, like the throttle one doesn't help anybody. The compassionate one does. It helps all of us. So I'm going to go with compassion. There does reach a point though, like I do have to say, there does reach a point where you're just like, you got me to my edge. You really have. But you know what, like that really is an exercise for me, or for us out there, when we notice someone is pushing us to our edge, or a situation is pushing us to our edge. Let's see how far out we can push our edge, right? So what that takes is relaxing and releasing. Deciding that you don't want to act from a place of annoyance. You don't even want to be annoyed. I don't want to be annoyed. Sure, I'm annoyed, but I don't particularly want to be. So I can relax. And you know what? But the thing is, you don't have to judge your emotions. We don't judge our emotions, right? I mean, I say this every single time I talk to you guys. But we don't judge our emotions. We just allow them to be what they are. And we act from some and don't act from others, right? Acting from compassion is great. Acting from anger and bitterness or resentment or annoyance or, fear, hatred, like all the feelings that cause problems when you act from them. Let's not act from those, right? Like, let's feel them when we feel them. Take a deep breath. Relax. Release it. I'm understanding more about what is meant by relax and release and leaning away than I did originally, because of all the energies that I've been able to let go. There's still so many. All right, let's go. Breath time, guys. Oh, goodness gracious. This cold is a result of a bunch of blocked energies, like right in here and in the back of my neck and in my head. Like it's all energy. I can feel it, and I can release some of it, but some of it's just not going. Sorry, I'm releasing some of it from my head. There's just so much of it. Like it just keeps going and going and going, and a lot of times I don't even notice a difference in Sorry guys, I'm just checking something out. So, the energy thing, right? I have noticed that I can see, but that shouldn't be giving me energy, right? I mean, does a tissue box have energy? I don't think so, but it is. No, it's coming from down here. I think that's. So there's energy that floats around, guys, and it's everywhere. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. And I am just looking for it around the room. I've been focused on it inside my little bubble. But I really want to develop it more. I noticed I can see my aura now when I look closely. It is yellow. And there's patterns that come out of my head and in between my fingers and off my shoulders. The energy is leaving my body in these patterns they're called the flower of life. It's really interesting. It's really interesting. But I want to be able to start seeing other people's auras without trying. I want to see my aura without trying so hard. I want to see my energy without trying so hard. Like, I want to see the difference between... Okay, so there is that. That's definitely energy. See, the thing is, like, I don't want to claim something as energy when it's just something like that's a trick of my eye, or something that is behind, you know what I mean, behind whatever I'm looking at that's happening to be a little bit lighter than this, and I'm like, wait, no, that's just something behind. Like, I'm just trying to be very scientific as one could be on something like this. Like, because, for instance, I can see, I'm holding my hand up like this, only out here. Let's see if you can see it. Let's see if we can see it together. It'll be a little harder because it's looking into the light. Yeah, I can sort of see energy wafting off in the way like that, you know, water comes out of a diffuser, but very, like, not super aggressively, just kind of wafting. And then there is light around my hand. That is not the light behind, that is light that is traveling with it. Okay. And if I look hard enough, I keep looking, I can open, it feels like I can open a part of my brain that's like see color. I want to see the color now. And the part of my brain that wants to see the color sometimes opens. I want to see the color. And I can see the color. Right now it's not, oh, a little bit. It's not really working right now, but anyway. Point being, that getting back to the point, which is not my ability to see energy. It is the idea of patience, I guess, is what I'm talking about. Having patience with yourself, having patience with others, having patience with the situation that you're in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I love how I start talking about something and then I realize that I'm talking about, I mean, what I'm really talking about, it's not that I have changed the idea, it's just I realized that, succinctly put, I'm talking about patience. Zang. Anybody know where that's from? I have bottles of, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do, it's neither here nor there. Although I do just like talking. I mean, do you guys just like listening to me? Because I just like talking. I think that's mainly because I don't have many people to talk to. And honestly, when I talk to myself, I narrate everything. I really do. I do keep myself company. And I do care about everything that I care about. So everything seems interesting to me when I say it out loud. That might not be so with you guys. Sorry, guys. Whew, it was worse yesterday. Like, it's coming out now. Yesterday, it was just like, someone shoot me. Not really, I didn't want anyone to shoot me, but my head was splitting. At least my headache's kind of gone, or at least it's subdued. Of course, I say that, and now I'm like noticing, I'm like, it's still not badly though. I worked some last, patience. I have to have patience with working this energy out because it's just going to take a while. And I've been saying that for months and months and months, and it is slowly but surely worked. So that's another thing about patience, is like knowing like, hey, I'm starting here, I want to get here, and it's going to take a while to get between the two things, and being patient with that, right? Like, okay, the internet is still off here. This is a little frustrating, I will say. Really annoying. The internet's been off for a while. Good 20 minutes. 25 minutes maybe. So, patience. Ooh. Patience with the internet, patience with people, patience with everything. It's much more pleasant to have patience than it is not to. And this is coming from someone who is very impatient in a lot of cases. Very impatient. That's been a problem for a long time. So I think the virtue of patience is one that's worth learning. But the thing is, you can't do anything you can't go to the extreme with anything, right? Because if I'm too patient with things, nothing will get done, or you get taken advantage of, like, right? So again, there are boundaries. But, and it's, I'm going to talk about boundaries later on with Robin. I'm going to talk Untethered Talk with Robin Thomas at 2:00. We haven't been doing it for the past several weeks, but we're back. We had the holidays and stuff was going on, but we're back. Guys. So, patience. Cultivating patience is a matter of relaxing and releasing as is everything, and being in the moment, right? I don't know. I mean, I do repeat myself a lot because that's really the lesson that we have to learn in everything. Relax and release. When I have an emotion, I can feel it come, like it ripples throughout the parts of my energy field that are looser. I really cannot wait to get the stuff out that's just kind of still impacted. I really, really can't wait to do that. It's hard. Oh, that's a different story. It's a different story. So anyway, patience. I'm going to be patient with it as I work on it. I'm going to encourage you guys to have patience with stuff where if you find yourself saying, like, I can't take this anymore, I can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Especially if it involves, like, wanting to yell at somebody. My advice is don't do that. My advice would be to, like, take a deep breath. Hear yourself say, I don't think I can do this. Like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't take this anymore. Hear that. And, release your body wherever that is. So for me, that is located in my back. Like, it kind of does this U shape up my back and, like, inside my body here and up my neck. If I can just work on releasing that. It is better because you're also in that moment, in the moment, right? I'm just watching some of the energy kind of pour out of that area, which is nice. Right. So that's that. I really think that that's pretty much wrapped up. Be patient. I think it's my lesson here. Cultivate patience. You don't have to answer things with your immediate reaction, right? What was I saying with a person the other day? Respond, not react. I forget who I was saying. I need to start taking notes about who I talk to and the things that we say, because I'm talking to a lot of people and I forget. So react, no. Respond, yes. All right, so I'm going to be grateful for the person who I said that with and who I think that I need to remember who that is. I think it was another girl named Jennifer the other day. Anyway, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for having a body that I can just relax and release in. I'm grateful for having the moment that I have right now. I'm grateful for being closer and closer to God. I do pray, guys, every day for any veil to be taken away, for any blockage or boundary to be dissolved between me and the divine. And I just welcome it. You know, and the more you can welcome it, the better off you are. Of course, that requires, I'm just babbling now. I'm not babbling, it's just kind of going off in a different way. Of course, that requires acceptance and surrender, which can be hard. But at the end, ends up being a lot easier than you think, because then you don't have responsibility for things that you thought you had. Like, the pressure's off in that sense. Like, I don't have to make anything happen, because what's going to happen is just going to happen. I'm just going to do my best, take the next right action, etc., etc. I got to figure out what's going on with the internet. But I'm grateful to have the internet. I'm grateful to have a computer. I'm grateful to have this phone and everything else that is in my life. And that's about it. So I'm going to remind you guys that you can always choose to have a grateful day.